You're listening to another episode of Inside Techosystem, a podcast where we bring you fun and exciting topics about tech and its ecosystem in Nigeria. It's Manuel, and I'm joined by my co-host Chuka. Hey Chuka, how you doing?
Hey, what up, people? How you doing? Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry for killing flow.
Chuka was a little bit distracted
I'm
there.
okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. How's everything going? Like, how's life? Last 2 weeks, 1 week.
Well, we're just trying to, keep it alive. It's hard out here in the streets. But we're just trying to get it.
Sorry, what street are
Make
you talking
money.
about?
Street
The
law,
Techo Street.
street law, always on street law.
Woo! I think I just invented a new word, the Techo Street.
No,
Techo Street.
no, do not. No, please, everybody, ignore him. Thank you very much.
Too late, bro. Too late. All right.
All
So
right.
in this episode, we brought in a guest. Her name is Ofure Ughu. Ofure is a recent MSc graduate from the University College Dublin in Ireland. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So basically, we're just
Dublin.
Dublin, right?
Say University College Dublin.
University College Dublin.
I just want everybody to forgive us for how we be pronouncing some certain words today. It's not easy. We have
It's a
an
culture
international
clash.
guest on the show, so
The culture clash. All right. So we're just going to be talking about schooling abroad. So a lot of people leave Nigeria a lot. Example of it. They leave Nigeria to go study abroad and acquire knowledge and gain skills so that they can obviously become better people. So in this episode, we just want to know a little bit more about that. Since some of us are here, we don't have that much experience. We don't have just a first-hand information about how it is. So we'd like to bring that into this podcast. And what a way to start with Ofure. She's, like I said earlier, she's in Ireland. All right, so she's going to be talking to us about that place and how studying abroad is in general. So to start off, Ofure, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone. Hello. My name is
Hello.
Ofure and I'm a graduate of Information Systems from University College Dublin. I completed my degree in 2020. So basically I've been here for a year and 4 months. Would that be 4 months? November. Okay, yes. A year and 4 months. Yes. And I'm happy to be here. I'm also a graduate of Covenant University. Eagles. Woo! But I'm an Eagle also. I finished from computer science in 2019. And I moved forward with my master's in information systems to get a much more general knowledge of the Techosystem. And yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting ride. And I'm done now. Not to toot my own horn, but I finished with a first class in information systems.
Wow.
Yay!
God, wow.
So I'm just, in the job market now. And yeah.
Okay.
So I will be speaking about schooling abroad, resources, what you need in case you are thinking about schooling abroad, or because I am in Ireland presently, I only know about Ireland, so I'll be giving information about Ireland only. I don't really know much about other places than where I've been because it's the only place I've been. So
would you be kind enough to teach us and our guests how to pronounce Ireland? Did I say it right?
It's as easy as it sounds. Ireland. Just roll your tongue. Ireland.
Can we just say island? Because I think my
You
use
can say
island.
that too. Don't kill yourself.
Okay, so
Don't
from now
confuse it
on,
with
we'll be
Lagos
referring
Island, I
to
beg.
It's
Owambe
island. It's island.
as
Lagos Island is
okay.
actually pronounced island. Like when you say island, they go island.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
Ah, it's
They're in the same
different though.
WhatsApp group.
Oh, Ofure, thank you so much for coming on this
It's my
episode.
pleasure.
Wow, masters. Can I say God mine again? Because ever since I finished my BSc, I don't think I've considered going back to school. But like, I mean, you guys are good. You guys are really strong mentally,
Well, that's
I
valid
guess.
too.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, definitely is.
But like, but
Not
like,
everyone has to do a master's. It's not compulsory, especially
yes,
if
but like,
the field you're or the career path you're choosing to go through does not require it. I don't think you should go to school for anything that your goals and your career dreams don't require. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's valid too.
yeah, yeah. But like, if Elon Musk was to choose people to go to Mars with him, he'll probably choose you over me. Do you understand?
No,
Like your value,
no.
like
No,
you,
You
I think that he would
Elon
choose
Musk.
people with more experience or people who
oh
know how to
really?
get the job done,
Yeah.
Mm,
regardless of what
Ofure
their
seems
degrees
nice.
are.
Ofure, you seem nice. You're trying not to hurt my feelings. I understand. I
I'm not trying
understand.
to. I'm speaking facts. I'm speaking
Oh,
facts,
okay.
bro.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So the first question we usually ask our guests before we start talking about the topic is, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you be doing if you weren't in tech?
What would I be doing? Um, I would probably be a therapist.
Are
Wow,
you
that's
serious?
this is like the best answer I've gotten so far.
I'm
Well,
telling you, all our guests,
honestly
they
speaking, I didn't
just
plan for
keep saying
this,
they
but
want to be.
like, well, to be honest, not like I just really enjoy making people feel better about themselves. So that's the closest thing that came to my
Wow.
mind. So
Wow.
I like to think I'm an encourager.
Nice.
I like
Hmm.
to think even though in my head I'm not as optimistic, I like to think I'm an optimist person.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, if I wasn't doing tech, I'll probably go into psychology and be a therapist and help people get out of their heads and help them see the brighter things of life and, just live and not stress too much.
Do you,
Just that ray of sunshine in everybody's life.
yeah,
Nice.
do you currently have people that do that for you? Do you have ray of sunshine in your life at the moment?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
like you
nice
have
because
ray of sunshine for different things. You meet
yeah,
like you
I
can meet
guess
different people for different issues. So yeah, I have
hmm,
that sort of support group around me,
that's nice.
for
Yeah, that's
Must
nice.
be nice. Are you
momental
guys
rays of
are you
sunshines.
guys selling form or are you guys selling application form or something for someone to
For
join?
what?
It's only in Nigeria selling application
If
for.
I wasn't to because like sometimes I tend to go through a lot and it's not really easy.
Why are you intellectualizing
Yeah, I
it?
Yeah,
understand, especially
You're
in
making it
lockdown.
sound
It
so
can be very
yeah.
tough.
A
so
lot a
theoretical.
lockdown in Nigeria again. Life is already giving us
Exactly.
four
Like
zero at
that's
the moment.
double, as in naturally.
Yeah.
Oh, even when you started, you're already losing. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah,
Okay.
like, I've never said that before. Like I've never thought of that before. But like that's something I think I would be doing if I wasn't doing anything tech related.
So that's
Oh,
our
that's
effect.
nice.
Techo effect.
Sounds nice. Sounds good to me.
Okay, so can you just talk a little bit about life in Ireland and like how is so
Emmanuel, we
different
are
from
it's
Nigeria?
Ireland from now on.
Okay, Island.
Yes,
So
yes.
how is
Thank
life
you very
like
much.
different from Nigeria? Obviously, anywhere outside Nigeria is very different because Nigeria is a very unique place. Let me just say that
Don't say don't
Nigeria is
say
unique. So anywhere outside would definitely be very different. So for you, how different has it been the past 1 year that you've been there?
cultural shocks, things that you saw and you were like, or more.
I
Now
see,
say
I
be life
saw.
for you, that kind of thing, you understand? Yeah,
Yeah,
I see. I
so
saw. Yeah.
there was a lot of culture shocks for me because it was the first time I was traveling abroad in my entire life.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, it was totally different. It was very interesting to see how people treated other people like human beings.
Hmm.
Um
Wow. Nigeria,
well,
take your
just
stuff.
respecting humanity in the sense of in the sense that you don't just go around embarrassing people no matter what it is. Like
Hmm.
they try their best to respect people no matter what they do, no matter who they are, no matter what they have even done. For example, how much they respect even people that shoplift from stores. I
Wow.
mean, like in a natural Nigerian setting, if they catch somebody not even stealing, but looking as if you
Hmm.
are going to steal,
Omo,
Hmm.
the
harvest
way they
is
would
gone.
just talk you down and everything like that. But it's totally different here. Like it's really interesting to see that even people who are supposedly criminals in court,
Hmm.
they still, handle them properly and with respect. And
Hmm.
yeah, Ireland is interesting. In well, really, it's not interesting. It's actually quite boring. Everybody who lives here
Wow.
knows that. But it's
There's no Owambe.
peaceful. That's what I would say. There's no Owambe, my brother.
Man, that
There's nothing like
sucks.
that.
What is life without
Everywhere
Owambe?
is
What's
just
happening?
quiet.
So everyone
Except
is
you have
minding
your
their business.
friends. Yeah, exactly. That's another culture shock I had. Everybody abroad mind their business as per they mind their business as if their business is paying them 30,000 euro a year for just
Wow.
minding their
Wow.
business. Like the way they will face their front, and you never even believe anybody can face their front like that. Like there could be a whole circus happening, and people will just be walking by, like nothing is there. That's how much
Nigeria
they
left
face
the
their
chat.
front. But it's interesting because it's peaceful, and you can should I say you can be anything you want to be because people will not judge you for that. But there are people that will judge you. I will not even lie down on. There's still those that will look and make scornful faces. But yeah, you can literally do whatever you like, and people would respect your humanness first before judging you for any other thing. But I was talking about the fact that Ireland is peaceful in the sense that you hardly find them in the news. You hardly hear anything about Ireland in the news except they are um on unprecedented weather. I mean, like you can have like 4 seasons in one day. Like
Wow.
this literally happened not even 3 days ago. Literally, it was snowing in the morning, and then it got to 12 p.m. and it started. It was very sunny, and then it rained around 4 p.m. And then it was like normal in the night. So like
Wow.
literally, we had 4 seasons in
Wow.
one day. So yeah, the unprecedented weather. But yeah, I'll say the people are nice. Let's move to the people. I'll say relatively most of the time. I'd say 60% of the time people are nice.
Hmm.
I would say that because when I first came, more people were nice to me, and first impression matters a lot.
Hmm.
So you're walking on the street
Hmm.
and you're not sure where you're going, and you just ask somebody around you. They're going to smile like, oh, of course they know you're an immigrant because of how you look. So
Hmm.
they'll be so nice to help you. So I experienced that a lot when I first
Hmm.
came. So relatively, the people are nice. There's hardly racism here. Emphasis on the word hardly because there's no way where there's no racism.
Yeah,
But
sure.
it's not that rampant. It's not that common.
Hmm.
Yeah, the people are relatively nice. I mean, it depends on where you live. Also, depends on where you stay. But
Oh,
most
okay.
of the time, let me
Keep
just
going.
speak
I'm taking
generally.
notes. I'm taking notes because
You guys stop it.
conflicted between
No way. Stop it.
London, Canada, and I just added
No,
Dublin to my
Ireland is a
list.
good place. UK is out of the group chat because they're no longer in the EU. So like their
Oh, okay.
process is probably
Okay.
much more complex now. I mean,
Good, good.
I can't speak for them, but like so Ireland is basically the only English speaking country in the EU as we speak. Yeah.
Wow.
So they are looking to get more immigrants in the coming years for there because there's literally 5 million people in this country, the whole country,
That's
the
like
full country,
that's
5 million.
less
That's
than the
that's
That's
population
not
of
even up to
Lagos.
half of Lagos.
Lagos is
Omo,
like
Exactly, that's not
50
even
Emmanuel.
up to
million.
half of Lagos. Yes.
Emmanuel,
So yeah,
make we run out.
and recently, this is for the Techosystem. Recently, not even recently, some years ago, most of the tech headquarters you can find them here. Is it Facebook? Is it Google? Is it Amazon? Is it which other ones?
All of them.
Netflix.
Netflix. Is Netflix here?
I
I don't
don't
know
think
about
so.
Netflix actually, but most of the tech headquarters are here. Yes,
Nice.
Yeah,
so
that's
meaning
nice.
that there are a lot of jobs, a lot of tech jobs. If you're looking to get it, even if you're not in tech, I mean, like in this part of the world, they treasure experience over degrees. That's why I told you
Wow.
you don't have to get a master's degree if you don't need to. They treasure
Wow.
experience over degrees, so you can have all your degrees and certificates, especially in the Tego system where degrees don't really matter. Not like they're not important;
Mm.
they matter. But
Yeah.
if
No
there are two
worries.
people standing and somebody has gone to school for 8 years and another person has 8 years of experience, they would rather employ the person who has 8 years of experience rather than employing
Mm.
somebody who just
Yeah.
got out of school that they have to train.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
It's an economic decision. What was that?
Yeah.
Financial
Yeah.
decision because they have to
It's
invest in
economic.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
before you start giving back to them.
Mm-hmm.
But they will rather
Don't
employ
worry.
somebody who already knows. Yeah.
I need to ask. What motivated your move to Ireland? Because I mean, yeah, 1,000 other countries. So why did you say? Why did you say, oh,
Okay.
like,
So when I was looking for schools and when I was applying, I had different schools in different countries. I applied for a school, two schools in the UK. I applied for the other country. I think in the UK, um, in the US. So basically, what really drove my decision was the scholarship opportunities for me. Um,
oh,
I wanted to get a scholarship to study because it's expensive and I didn't want to pay that huge sum of
yeah,
money. Anyway, so I really wanted to get a scholarship to study, and the scholarships I was
okay,
seeing in Canada were not that favorable in the sense that I mean, you can see a school worth 22,000 Canadian dollars and the scholarship is 5K. Oh, where am I going to get the rest from? So that
that's a
wasn't,
lot too.
it was not sustainable, basically. And I could hardly find scholarships in Canada that would cover either full or half, at least would have been manageable. But I personally, I can't speak for anybody else, but me, I was not seeing them. I mean, like schools in Canada are very, very expensive, especially the good
Yeah,
ones. And I don't want to go to an anyhow school because like schools matter. Like school names really give you a leverage. I mean, like
yeah,
that's what I've come
true.
to also realize, and I'm grateful for that I went to a good school here in Ireland at least. School names give you a leverage in the job market because if you're looking to start your career and you want to get a job in whichever country you end up in, your school name really matters because there are some companies that are in partnership with these schools to get their students when they graduate.
Mm.
And these are
Yeah,
usually with the top schools. So I mean, just
yeah,
look at schools like Harvard or Stanford, all these big companies, Google, all these big companies anyway, they have partnerships. Some of them have partnerships with these schools to get their graduates. So they can literally just say, oh, and we need 10 people from Stanford, and they will share it to the graduating class or share it to whoever is in the year or has the experience that they require, and they will consider those people first if they are going to be um streamlining their candidates, not to discriminate or anything, but like
mm.
they do it. I won't even tell you they don't. They do it. They look at the schools that these graduates come from and they, you know, consider them based on that sometimes. So yeah, it really gives you a leverage when you go to a good school in whichever country you go to. So back to what I was saying, I was looking for a scholarship, and money was a big factor for me because my father is not Dangote. So I had to find one where I could get a scholarship in, and Canada was not that favorable. So I just cancelled
Okay.
Canadian schools totally. And I was also looking for countries that are beneficial to graduates, meaning that would I be able to get a job there when I finish from the school?
Okay.
So yeah, if that was not possible, then you know the country will also be struck off the list. So
Okay.
I was down to the UK and Ireland. And besides, like Ireland was not something I chose by myself, or it was a friend who introduced the idea of Ireland to me. on my own. I wasn't
Oh, okay.
really considering it. So I applied to two schools in the UK, and they, one of them came through. And at the time, the UK was still in the whole Brexit mess, and the guarantee for graduates after study was not very certain, and it was still very shaky and wobbly, and I didn't want to put myself in that situation. So even though I had applied, I didn't really follow through with it. So that left me with Ireland, which allows students to stay for. So the policy, the graduate policy for Ireland is that master students would be allowed 2 years within the country after their studies to get a job. And within that 2 years, if you get a job that pays above the threshold for critical skills, which is usually tech, engineering, medicine, and natural sciences, in those fields, if you get a job within those fields that pays above 30,000 euro a year, and you can be sponsored by the company, that is, the company will say, oh, we'd like to keep this person even after 2 years. So we want to give them a permanent residency visa,
Oh,
which they
okay.
do most of the time for their graduates that they want to retain after whichever program they're doing. So yeah, so Ireland really gave me that, and I also got a scholarship in one of the schools I applied to, which is University College Dublin. So that was what
Mm,
just sold it for me, and found myself here. Ticked
that's
my
nice.
boxes.
That's it. That's it. That's a very cool story. Emmanuel, I'm going to ask you again, how far make we run this thing? Because I mean, I mean, I mean,
You
Ofure
can really. It's a
Ofure does not
very.
sound like. I mean, come on, Emmanuel, talk to me.
What are you talking about?
I don't even know at this point.
You sound like there's light in your house at the moment. It's like,
So Ofure has spoken like extensively about like life at or life in Ireland or Ireland as Chika will say. And then she spoke about how she like got into like the scholarship program and all that. So that's really good. And that story is kind of like common among Nigerians because we have this hustling spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
We tend to, for instance, for people that get jobs like tech jobs abroad, they'll tell you how they apply for 100 jobs or 200 jobs before
My
they got
dear,
their
now
first
that's
offer
the, that's
or
the boat
something.
I'm in right now.
So it's like the hustling spirit is like present in people like us, like people in Nigeria, because we actually deserve or we want a better place, we want a better life. So, in your own opinion, what are like the job prospects compared to Nigeria? For instance, as a graduate in Ireland, do you stand a better chance than a graduate of a Nigerian university? Obviously, it's a very bad comparison because obviously, like Ireland is a much better country and they have much better schools. But from your own experience, it would be nice for us to see how, let's say, how bad it is for us here.
So what you're asking me is like you want me to compare what it's like between a graduate. So do you mean a master's graduate or a BSc graduate in
You
Ireland?
could do both. You could do both. Both.
Well, I can't really speak for BSc because I did my BSc in Nigeria. So I only did my MSc here.
Yeah.
So I'll speak for only MSc. Um so I think that at the end of the day, if you're going to do an MSc, you should definitely do it in something you're interested in. Don't just do MSc because they're doing should be after BSc is MSc now. Make we dey go, my dear. Don't do it. Don't just choose anything. Like just try your best to pick an area that at least you'll be interested in. If you have to do an MSc. So comparing MSc graduates here. So first of all, like graduating from an MSc has some sort of expectations to it. They expect you to, have some more knowledge than you had in your BSc. So the job prospects for that are relatively favorable because it shows like you have drive and you're trying to chase knowledge and all of that. So
Yeah.
it's good for the job prospects here. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Yeah, you're actually answering it, but like compared to studying MSc in Nigeria or like having all your education in Nigeria, is there really any difference or
Yeah, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. Okay, very good. There's a big difference in the sense that the quality of education is totally different. Now, I can't really compare MSc in Nigeria because I didn't do it there. So I'll compare my BSc with my MSc here. It's totally different with the quality of education because you get to experience lecturers that actually enjoy their jobs and are happy to impact knowledge in people. That has an effect on how you
wow, that sounds
receive
so strange.
on how you receive the knowledge, because when you're seeing somebody that is so knowledgeable, so excited about their topic, so excited about life, coming to teach you and tell you about this thing that you probably didn't know heard I've not heard before, it's encouraging because you're like, oh wow, this is cool. Like my lecturer is so cool, that kind of thing. I don't know. But it just makes you excited to come to class every day. But it's depressing now that it's in lockdown that you have to do classes over Zoom. But like, yeah, it's very good and encouraging to see lecturers that actually want you to pass, want you to succeed, will guide you in all your even in your assignments. You have any question, you can
In all
even come
your
and ask. The
ways.
assignment that they gave you, you see, I can see ask them question on it. So unlike Nigeria, so it's very nice, my dear. It's like everything around you is pushing you to succeed. So if you don't succeed,
Yeah.
Omo, they are following you from a village. You have to go and check it. So yeah,
That sounds
it's
really great. Like,
yeah, it's really good. And I can also tell you about the different culture shocks in my classes that I had. So I had the privilege to attend a few physical lectures in the beginning of my MSc. I was going to class every day and
Before the
attending
pandemic.
lectures before the pandemic. Yeah.
Uh,
So it's really interesting to see, lecturers that are excited to teach and are happy to impact knowledge and are not rude or mean or intentionally annoying. Even though there are still those ones, definitely you always have those kind of teachers. There's no running away from it. But in general, you see that they're just trying to make you do better,
uh,
trying to make you do better. So in one of my classes, right, what I mean, I tell everybody this story because it's so hilarious to me. So in one of my classes called Information Studies, my lecturer, she's of Asian American descent. She's so lively, she's so active and so full of life. This woman is over 50, but she's just so lively and active. And just her energy when she comes to class, you just feel so excited naturally. Like you don't know why, but you're just happy to attend the class. Some people just go to the class and sit down, not really because they want to listen, but because it just
wow.
feels nice. Some people used
Wow.
to go to attend
must be
her
nice.
classes just because, like I don't have anywhere to go, or instead of going home to just sit down and do nothing, I'll just attend Kalpana Shankar's class. That's her name. So, yeah, one of my classes, we were talking about misinformation in technology and how the spread of misinformation has gone rampant these days and everything. And she talked about the idea of reviews online and how people can even spread misinformation through reviews just to spite either the developer or the owner of the product, or just because the person, cancel culture and all of that stuff
Mm,
going on. And
mm,
also how people, how people take how people take these reviews and their statuses on review accounts, like what's that one that's for travel again? What's it called? Oh my
trip
god, I can't believe it.
advisor.
TripAdvisor, thank you very much. And how
Yeah.
people, are so um territorial with their reviews, and how they're the best reviewers and everything like that. And yeah, so we're just talking about that, and all of a sudden, class was quiet, and we're just listening to the one's gist too. All of a sudden, one girl from the back of the class just said, "Oh, I have a story about that." She just, as per the teacher was talking. People don't understand. The teacher was talking, and she said, "Oh, I have a story about," interrupted the teaching that she was teaching.
The
A
gods
whole
must have been
lecturer,
angry.
How
And the
did
woman really kept quiet too and said, "Oh, really? Tell us, tell us." I say,
what?
eh.
No.
When I say, when she said, "Oh, I have a story about that," all the antennas in my head we just started ringing. Oh, my, this girl don't mess up. As well,
You
if
Wow.
it
know what
was
I
in
think is
Nigerian
funny?
class, who born you? Who born your papa? To
You know
just
what I think is funny?
raise your voice
I
like
think
that and tell us you have a
I think
story.
before
Story key you there.
I think before we travel or before we experience all these things, we usually hear stories about them, right? Like you obviously have friends that school abroad and they'll be like, "Oh, this is how things go down in my class, and this is how they," and you naturally be surprised that wow, that's amazing. But then when you eventually travel, what they obviously told you what is happening, but you still have to be shocked because I mean, seeing it happen firsthand is still on a different level of amazement. Like, wow, okay, so this actually happens. Because compared to what you've been used to, it's just totally different.
But yeah, it was a very what's the word? It was a
Because
big shock because naturally in Nigerian schools that wouldn't happen because the lecturer is the god of the class and you dare not interrupt when he's talking or when she's talking because you're scared that they would tell you to get out of their class or something. So it was really interesting to see that, they really crave like interaction with the students as much as they want to also impart knowledge in you. So they don't just want to come talk and go. They also want you to, input your own ideas of what you know to either correct you or to agree with you or whatever. And another big culture shock was the fact that if you're wrong with an answer, they will never tell you you are wrong. Like if I raise my hand to
yeah,
answer a question and it's wrong, they will never ever tell you, "Oh, you are very wrong. Sit down," or "No, that's not right." They'll say, okay, that's close, but how about you think about it like this?" I was like,
Wow.
wow,
Wow.
that's um
In Nigerian schools,
really
if you
interesting
correct
to
the
see.
lecturer, you can feel the course.
yeah, that's really cool. I wish Nigerian lecturers would just understand that it's not like we're disrespecting them or our youthfulness in quotes that is making us act like that, because they have this they focus a lot on morals, which is equally good, but sometimes they focus so much that they forget like the primary thing of imparting
Hmm.
knowledge. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's
something
really
Nigerian
true.
lecturers should learn. Like if they don't learn it, like collaboration between lecturers and students is very important, right? So
Hmm.
if lecturers are the ones that are making that process difficult, then we
Hmm.
have a long way to go in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting close to the end now, and we just like to know how to relocate. Basically, a lot of people have the should I say the goal of living Nigeria to a better place, right? So, what steps did you take? You already mentioned some of them, but it would be nice to like itemize it so that anyone who wants to move to Ireland or who wants to study in Ireland would have like pointers, and then whatever links, whatever let's say references you have, will share in the show notes. Offer the tips.
Okay, so I can only speak for Ireland, like I said before. If and also I can only speak for relocating to Ireland via the education route. So if you're looking to relocate to Ireland through school, that is doing a master's degree, it will be best first of all to research the different schools here in Ireland because the one I attended is not the only school here, of course. There are seven universities here, seven good universities, by the way, and you can choose from these options. Now, they're the very expensive ones, and they're the ones that are not so expensive. So, keeping in mind your financial status, in applying for the different schools and the ways you're going to source for the funds to pay for those fees is what should guide your choice. So if money is not your problem, then schooling in Ireland would be very easy and would be very straightforward. I would always advise to go for the best schools. That is Trinity College Dublin or University College Dublin. Yeah, those are the top two. So because like I said, some of these I mean if you're looking to use this as a to launch into your career path also, it's very important to be mindful of the schools you go to because it helps you and it also helps your career because if you're looking to be starting a career, like starting your career goals or career path here, and you going through entry level jobs, then schools matter in a particular way. It can help you. It can help you. I'm not saying that that's the only way, but it helps. It helps.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah. So first step would be choosing the school. So there are other schools in Ireland also that are relatively cheap and affordable, not only the universities, there are also the colleges. Those ones are also not very expensive. So, first of all, know your financial status and what can um fit that. So the next step would be the whole visa process, which is the bigger step, I think. Yeah. So most schools here, if you're doing a master's from Nigeria, most schools don't require IELTS. So the schools don't require it, but the visa requires it. So that's why we're going to talk about visa processes now. So what you need most of the time is your transcript from your undergraduate degree, your passport, obviously, um, a proof of funds, which is usually €6,000 at least in a particular account, and yeah, that should
Hmm.
go for you. That should fit for
Boss
your
moves.
proof of financial assistance. So this means that even though you have a scholarship, you have to be able to fend for yourself when you come to the country. So they expect to see a flow of funds in an account with at least €6,000. So and your IELTS results, because like I said, visa requires you to submit IELTS. I'm so sorry, guys, but we don't mean anything to them, so they want us to write English tests, even though we speak English. So those are
Wow.
the most important things, and passport photographs. Yeah, so those are the most important things. I can't think of anything else. And statement of purpose. Sorry, statement of purpose. Most schools require that, and also the visa requires that. And just to wrap this up, because I may be missing information because it's not my job to help people do their visas, I would really recommend an agency that is free and they help you through from even choosing schools to getting a scholarship to preparing your visa documents, even till you get out of the country. They're going to be following you like ants that follow sugar. And the agency is called
Wait, sorry, did you say
UKEAS.
free?
It is free, 100% free. You don't pay a dime.
Wow.
Yes, you don't
Must be
pay a
nice.
dime for anything. You have your personal counselor that follows through with everything that you have to do, and they help you through it all until you leave the country. And they're trusted in the sense that if you go through them, it's less likely that your visa gets declined if you follow all their procedures, and it is 100% free. So check out UKEAS NG on Instagram or whichever social media you use, or just go to their website at
Okay.
www.ukas.ng or something like that. I'm not
Hmm.
really sure, but you probably put
No,
it in the show
we'll put
notes
it in. Yeah, we'll put
to
the
be
link in the
sure.
show notes. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. So that's a free agency and it's very trusted. That's what I use. Even though I didn't use it from the very beginning, I had already gotten my application and already gotten my scholarship before I even found out about them. So I just used them for my visa process. And I got my visa in 3 weeks, guys. It takes 3 months, okay? That's how good it is. It takes three
Wow.
months to get your Irish visa, but I got mine in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Wow,
So
that's
that only
that's that's
happens
really dope.
if you get all your documents correct and all your stories align and there are no pit stops. There's no comma. You're not saying that you have 6,000, but it's not
Yeah.
really your account. It's your uncle's, daddy's, father's, daughter's gardener that
I
owns the
wish,
account.
I
They're
wish,
like, where are you
I wish
stealing
I
the
could
money
see
from?
6,000. I wish I could see 6,000 euros like this. Like, I just see it at one
But there's a way
bang.
around it. My father did not have 6,000 in his account. Okay, so there's a
Mm.
way around it. So when you
Okay.
work with UCAS, they give you different options on how to go about these things. making sure that it's authentic because it has to be authentic. They
That's
don't want to
nice.
give shady people visas.
Okay. Oh,
True.
this is actually very insightful. Look at
Yeah.
me here, jotting things down. Thank you so much.
So yeah, I look
Okay.
forward to seeing you guys in Ireland next year or whenever you guys are ready. I'll always be here to receive you.
Woo!
Yeah, me and the man, we go run out, we go run
Yeah.
out.
All right,
Yo, I
thank
think
you
we
so
have one
much,
more
Ofure.
question.
That was really insightful. Like, as in, like a lot of people focus so much in the US, Canada, UK, and they don't know about other countries that are
Yeah.
as
Ireland is a
as
beautiful
good and
country. It's
have
nice.
easier routes. Yeah,
Yo,
Even though
yeah.
we didn't talk about the negative parts of Ireland, but yeah, that's fine.
oh, you can talk about it if you want, I guess. Like,
Not
man,
to discourage
see how.
anybody or anything, but there's a housing crisis in this country at the moment. So housing is quite expensive. So during the time
Um,
when the tech headquarters started to come here, they assumed that everybody was rich, and then all of a sudden, all the rent started going up, and it has been going up ever since
Wow,
then. So there's a
wow.
serious housing crisis here, and you
So
can
like,
see like mediocre houses and rooms for really exorbitant prices. It's
Lagos.
outrageous. It's outrageous. It's worse than Lagos because we pay rent monthly.
Ah, Omo.
wow,
So it's
I wish
nothing
you
like
started
Lagos.
with
It's
this.
that bad. But I mean,
I mean,
you if you get a small part-time job, you can always fend for yourself. But that's one thing that is really terrible here is the housing crisis. Very expensive houses for
okay,
mediocre quality of houses. But yeah, let's go on.
wow. So before we finish, we just like to know how your tech journey is, like a kind of like a short summary of
yeah,
how
how has it
your
been
tech
so
journey has
far?
been from school till now. Just give us a little.
Because I mean, you're inside the ecosystem, and we like to
Yes.
know how you've been doing
Woo!
inside
She's
the
inside the
ecosystem.
ecosystem.
So, especially how is the ecosystem over there as well? Like, uh, the level of intelligence,
Okay.
innovation and stuff.
Guys, stop comparing us.
No, I'm not comparing it, just a general question. Both of them. That's one.
Well, okay, so I studied computer science, like I said,
Uh,
and from my undergraduate degree, learning programming, I enjoy programming, right? It's something that's, makes me think, and I love anything that makes me think. But yeah, so it is my passion is my poison.
Wow,
um,
that's deep.
so yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, I worked an
Undergraduate studies.
internship in a fintech company. I did Java for Android for about 9 months and it wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy it at all. I mean, I did it. It was nice, but it wasn't cute. I didn't
the
enjoy it
Java,
that much.
the Java people that listen
I
to this
learned a
podcast, they
lot.
are
I
coming for
learned a
you.
lot
Just
of
know.
things. You can defend Java for all I care, but that thing is boring. But yeah,
Oh, shots
I
fired.
did it
Okay.
for 9 months and it wasn't fun at all. I didn't enjoy it. So I just knew that okay, this is not what I want to do with my life, definitely. And this is something that propelled me
Sounds so
to
depressing.
I can say I was depressed, but this is a lively podcast, so let's not talk about that here. But it wasn't fun. I'll just put it that it wasn't
Okay.
fun. Okay. So
Okay.
I that's what even propelled me to go and do a master's in information systems to get a more general knowledge of things that are in tech but not necessarily programming. Just to know what
Okay.
that's like, you know.
Okay.
So I did that and then I came here and I've been applying for jobs also in my field. I hope to work in a field that has to do with programming, but it's not what we do every day. So areas like
Mm,
product management, where you also have to work with developers, project management, or cloud support, or just cloud management, because most of the time it's programming, but it's not really programming. Also, like you do
mm,
programming, but not all the way. Am I right or am I wrong?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I haven't
you're
worked
right. I
yet,
guess you're
so I'm
right.
not sure.
Don't worry, you're right.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what I
y-
enjoy doing. I enjoy areas of technology that are very mindful of users, in the sense that you're not just making products, just let's make products because let's create a solution. You're also
mm,
mindful of the fact that how is this affecting the people that are using it, in form of ethics, in
mm,
form of user experience, very, very important.
mm,
Design, mindful design, or how do you call it, functional design, or intentional design. So I really enjoyed those things. So for now, I'm really just exploring. One of the roles I've been applying
mm,
for is in cloud support, and I hope to not work there for more than 1 year. So I really am about exploring and seeing how other areas of tech are that do not necessarily have programming at the center.
mm,
So in summary, I'm a runaway programmer.
mm. That's nice. You should listen to our last episode. Since you said you don't want to work there for more than 1 year.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
tech transfer
yeah.
student. That's the people that do 6 months and then they they find another company to apply to.
Well, not necessarily find another company, but perhaps in a company that is growth inclusive or
Okay, so like
progressive.
you can change
So I can move to
departments and
another
stuff.
department, or
Yeah,
learn more
makes
about
sense. Makes
something
Oh,
else.
sense.
nice.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That's
And so,
cool.
I don't really know what
Okay,
information
so
systems is about. I don't know if you could give a little.
Yeah, so like I said, it's a much more general area of tech. So it's the area that is very mindful of, sorry, not mindful, that has to do with um information management, information architecture, um the way information is shared, distributed, used.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so
Do we have that
it,
in
it, it
Nigeria?
just has to it just has to do with um the area that has to do with how information is shared, how information is managed. So it covers many things basically. It's not just one thing. Information is, or data is just, it's general. Everywhere in tech you use data.
Hmm,
So it's you can say it's a very general field that encompasses everything. So for example, for part of my degree, I did courses on user experience design. I did web programming also. um we did information studies, that is talking about how information affects society, misinformation, deep fakes, just about all those different topics in technology that affects society, or how society affects technology, or vice versa. So just all of those topics that have to do with ethics. I did a course on augmented reality and virtual reality, um mobile health and privacy, security, those topics, topics that are very, very up there in technology, that you always have to be mindful of when you're making any product. So you take into consideration the people using these products that you're making, and you're not just spewing out products or solutions just because you can, you know so it's
yeah,
it's quite interesting, because that's what I enjoy talking about these topics or these things. And I mean, like, you don't just wake up one day and say you want to create a solution that does this. What is the function? If you not create this thing, would the world still be the same that it is now? If it is, then there's no need for this your solution, my dear brother.
yeah, but why are you
that's so,
aggressive? You're aggressive. I don't like it.
so aggressive.
You're making tech bros.
Ethics is very important. Ethics is very, very important.
Yeah,
Privacy, very, very important, in this kind of world that we're
Hmm.
in, of the Mark Zuckerberg internet.
yeah. So we're done with the episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. I mean, I learned a lot. I'm sure Trika too learned a lot. Even Ofre, I'm sure she's
Mhm.
learning from
Mm-hmm.
herself. So it was really
Yes.
insightful. Thank you so much for joining us, and um, hopefully you'll be back to tell us more about Ireland. Maybe give
Yeah,
us tips
definitely. When
about
I
living
get
in
into the
Ireland.
job market, I'll be back.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we're
Sounds
excited
like
for
a
that.
plan.
So all the tips that Ofure gave, we'll put them in the show notes so that you can learn more about them, and then you can reach out to her on her Twitter.
Yeah.
someone told me that we used to pronounce Twitter in a very funny way. Anyways, her Twitter handle is Ofure_U. Ofure_U. So you can
Oh,
send her a
Ofure
DM
underscore me.
or just
Oh,
email her.
that's
Wow,
nice.
just wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No problem. Anything
All
for
right.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode, and hope to see you next time. Hope to have you on it
I
next
hope to
time.
be back too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I had fun.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Remember, we release new episodes every other Wednesday, and you can subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcast, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. If you would love to connect with us, you can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at insidethetechos, or subscribe to our newsletter and shoot us an email at insidethetechosystem@gmail.com. We love hearing from our listeners. You can follow the host on Twitter as well, Chuka at Ofure Ughu and Emmanuel at Olalua_98. All right, see you in the next one.